All right, so we've talked about FMU and what it does. How about we hear from some people that have been impacted by that? Laina and Will, if you guys would come on up, this is your opportunity. Thank you for applauding at home for them as they make their way. Right there, we'll have you guys share the mic. Laina is a senior who plans to attend Cumberland University in the fall. She's an avid thrifter and will accidentally spend over 4 hours in a thrift shop if you let her. Accidentally. Kind of fell into that, okay. Will Rogers is set to graduate next month from high school, plans to enroll at MTSU in the fall. The oldest of 5 has lived in Tennessee his whole life, and I am told that our dean of dating, Michael Johnson, is jealous of his hair. So, Laina, first question for you. What is one of the major takeaways that's helped you in your life, your faith, your relationship from being a part of FMU?
I think the main takeaway I've gotten from these classes and the book as well is just that it's really helped to back up beliefs and ideas that I've heard my whole life. Ideas such as, like, you know, you don't want to be alone with the person you're in a relationship with, or maybe friends first approach to dating is a good idea. I've heard those things and I was like, you know, that makes sense. I guess I'll give it a try, see how it works out. But this book and these classes have really helped to form more like logic and reasoning behind those ideas, and has helped me realize like why that is a good idea, and it's just made things more concrete, and it's been really helpful.
Excellent. Excellent. Will, question for you. What was FMU's impact on you personally?
Interesting. So I felt it was great to hear things that I had heard before from my parents from someone else. It can really, it can, you know, cement something in a person's brain if you're like, oh, I've heard that before from my parents. So, you know, it's probably true. More than one person is saying it. It's interesting. I have a story. I had a friend, and he was in a toxic relationship. It was terrible. He'd come to me, he'd be like, we were screaming at each other. I'd be like, you're 17. What's there to scream about? But it wasn't great. And he would come to me, and I would feel like I wanted to help, but just couldn't. And taking the class really helped me think about what I was putting to words, what I was thinking about. So before I was feeling things, but just couldn't conceptualize what I was feeling. So taking the class was like, oh, so when he said this, that's what was really happening in that relationship. And that was really great to kind of put some parallels together, I felt.
Excellent. Very cool. Laina, question for you. How has Love Ed's teaching changed the way that you relate to others?
Yeah, so I feel like the Love Ed teaching has really helped me, or helped me see like how things in our culture that students my age are taking in is like really not beneficial at all. You see like movies, TV shows, music, even social media is really utter nonsense when it comes to romance, relationships, and things like that. They're not teaching us how to do it in the right way. God-centered relationships are not out there very much. And so I think it's really good that this Love Ed program is teaching us how to have God-centered relationships, focused on what God is doing in the relationship, and working through that. But I feel like these movies, shows, music are teaching us toxic things, bad advice. Like, for example, I was told from a friend that in a relationship, if the guy does not kiss the girl in the first couple dates, the girl's going to lose interest and leave him. What? I mean, that's nonsense. That's not what a relationship is about. It's not about kissing or the lack thereof. It's about getting to know another person and hoping that in the future you'll be doing life together for God's glory. So, yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes, worthy of applause, sure. So, Will, why do you think the world needs what FMU has to offer?
Let's see. Do I need to answer that? To be honest, anything you teach children today that is based in Christianity is good. The world is lost. And I'll just stick, to boy-girl relationships to give you an idea of how lost this world is. but people just need this. In a society where it is accepted and encouraged even to mess around with whoever you want, whenever you want, at an age that gets younger all the time, I can't think of a society that needs it more. A good relation-based biblical program. If people took it, it could change the course of a generation.
Awesome. Awesome. Laina, what difference do you think it would make if every high school student went through relationology and date prep?
I think it would help high schoolers just be a lot more confident in their relationships. They have that solid reasoning and logic, like I was talking about earlier, that will help them know what to do in certain relationships and situations. They can look back at the book if they've read it, or look back at their notes from class and see, okay, this is happening in this relationship, this is what the book says, or what I learned. Maybe this isn't such a good idea, or maybe this is a good idea, maybe this is what God's leading me towards. But it really helps to build confidence, I think, in knowing that what you're doing is a good thing, or confidence that, okay, maybe this is not the right decision for me.
Excellent. Can we have a round of applause, please, for our students?